Welcome to another episode of Royal Rumble. Please stand by for the upcoming fight. This time, the Dark Elves will face up against the Vampire Counts.
So welcome to another episode of Royal Rumble and thank you for tuning in. And this episode, as promised, with some changes, improvements for my Royal Rumble series, better higher quality on battle casts. So I hope you like the new changes, and yeah, enjoy. So in this episode I'm going to play the Dark Elves and I'm facing up against the Vampire Counts. In my opinion, a quite interesting matchup. And yeah, let's directly go to my army composition, because actually I cannot say so much things to this regarding this matchup because it's quite new and I played it just several times. So we will see. So let's go to my army composition over here. So I have a front line of bleak swords, 4 groups. They are quite steady for that price. Quite okay melee defense stats. Of course, they are low tier infantry unit, but they are quite good to increase the amount of units in your army. They are shielded and, as I said, quite cost efficient. And they should trade quite even against skeleton warriors, in my opinion. But directly behind that, therefore, I have some groups of 3 groups of Black Orc Corsairs to support my front line and to make everything much stronger. On each side I have a group of Witch Elves, of course, for flankings, pure damage dealers, and yeah, very good for that. In my last line I have Shades this time, and I give that a try because the Shades are a hybrid unit, so they are a missile infantry unit and a melee combat unit, and they should perform quite well. Or let me say it like this: if the Vampire Count player will constantly cast Raise Dead in your backline, they are able to clean that up quite fast. So this is a very strong melee combat unit also, but of course they are quite cheap. Then I have a Death Hack, and a Death Hack is, in my opinion, a really all-round unit, very good for against all infantry in the game, also causing a lot of armor-piercing damage, and as I said, very good against all enemy infantry units. No matter from which race, I think you can bring it against all infantry. It's performing very well. Then I have a Black Dragon on Malekith on a Black Dragon, and so in this matchup it is quite difficult. So the enemy, the Vampire Count player, will bring usually also air units, flying units, a Manfred from Karstein on a dragon or a Dread Duke on a dragon. So it's quite dangerous for your Malekith. So in this game I brought just one Black Dragon, but in other games I brought a Black Dragon with a Malekith and an additional Black Dragon to compete also in the air. Or you can bring a lot of Harpies also, but just the Malekith on a Black Dragon is quite dangerous. It's not, you have to be very careful with that. So let's go to my opponent. We have a Vampire, as you can see over here on this flying Death Pegasus. I'm not sure what's the name of this mount, but as I said, in this case, this Vampire with Law of Death, in addition with the Manfred from Karstein, that's quite dangerous for my Malekith, and you can already see that he's also spirit leeching him, casting spirit leech on him, and you can take out a Malekith on a Black Dragon quite fast. Then we have a Mortis engine over here. We have Xenrefs causing armor-piercing damage, very good. We have Sternsman, Graveguard, very strong infantry unit, causing also a lot of armor-piercing damage. We have usual Graveguards around infantry units, performing very well against Bleak Swords and should perform quite well against also Black Orc Corsairs. Then we have a Graveguard with grab weapons, armor-piercing, very important for that. We have another unit of Graveguard. We have the Königstein Stalkers, Skeleton Warriors, and Skeleton Spearmen. And hidden in the trees over here we have a group of Blood Knights. So let's start with the fight and enjoy, and we will see how this goes. So you can already see that Manfred from Karstein causing some troubles in my backline. I think the plan was from the beginning to snipe out my my shades with dual weapons, but you can see it took a lot of damage actually from the shades. This was everything over there was from shades. Took so much damage from that. I think it would be better for my opponent to snipe out my Malekith with his Vampire and with his Manfred von Carstein, but I think on this side now it's quite good for me. So my shades are constantly shoot on his Manfred von Carstein, and also it's too late for the Vampire to cause a lot of damage. But also you can see my Malekith took a lot of damage actually. And yeah, but I was able to clean up this Manfred von Carstein over here. So he lost his Lord quite fast. Then we have over here these these Blood Knights sneaking out the forest, and now going to charge in my backline over here. The frontline fight works quite well. I would say we trade quite even, or let me say my opponent. It's a little bit in favor for my opponent. So the Graveguard performing very well against my Bleak Swords, of course. The Stansman also very healthy. At least I was able to kill these Sandswrath with my Witch Elves over here on this side. But overall it works quite well. But my Death Hack performing really well. So my Death Hack is a really advantage over here. His Mortis Engine is quite heavily damaged, but he still have his Death Knights, Blood Knights over here, and they will start to cycle charge now. You can see my shades in the backline cleaned everything up, so he casted some Raised Dead on each side over here, and they were able to clean everything up on this side. And as I said, they are a hybrid unit and are able to kill a unit of zombies quite fast. So the shades starting shooting on the Mortis Engine. You can see the Mortis Engine is going down. Is killed now, and because the shades with dual weapons causing a lot of armor-piercing missile damage, and that will take out, snipe out a unit or Mortis Engine quite fast. So they are quite dangerous for a Mortis Engine, and therefore I think you need these missile infantry. It's quite important in my opinion. So overall, I think that my opponent get a huge leadership drop from the death of his Lord, and this is was in my opinion the problem, because the frontline fight overall runs quite well for him. So I think he would be able to win the frontline fight when his Manfred von Carstein would not be killed that fast, that early in the game. But overall, of course, that was everything. Just these two groups of, just a group of Blood Knights left, but that's it. Yeah, very interesting matchup. I'm not 100% sure. I think overall, I had some discussions in the message boards, and I think overall, it's a little bit not so balanced at the moment, because I think the new races from the new world are performing a lot better than the races from the old world. But in this matchup, I think the Vampire Counts have a chance against the Dark Elves. Not sure. It's quite even, I would say, the matchup. So I would not say it's in favor for the Dark Elves or it's in favor for the Vampire Counts. It's quite equal or even. There is no clear winner on one side. And yeah, as you can see, the infantry performed quite well. So I think the Vampire Counts have good tools in the infantry with the Graveguards, with the Stunsman, with the Sandwrath. Also, the infantry can compete quite okay or quite even with the Dark Elf infantry. And also you have Blood Knights, you have a Mortis Engine, you have a Black Dragon, and also I think all dragons from the old world get an improvement with the latest Mortal Empires patch, so they can hold the line against the new dragons also. So you can take a look on my side. We can see the Defab always performing quite well. The Bleak Swords underperformed, I would say. Maybe in this matchup they are quite useless. I wouldn't say that. I think it's always important to bring a little bit of quantity with more quantity with your army. So it's quite good to increase that with cheap units like the Bleak Swords. The Shades perform quite good, even if they are quite expensive. The Witch Elves also. And yeah, that was everything for this match. I hope you enjoyed this episode. And yeah, hope to see you on the next episode of Royal Rumble. Thank you.